Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ryal Thomas. Tonight, I will be discussing beautiful beginnings. But before I actually get started with that, I just want to make a public announcement and let the public know that I've closed up my business. I'm no longer doing furniture full-time. I'm no longer stripping and refinishing furniture full-time. I still have an outlet where I can do some furniture, but I'm going to take the rest of my life to do some things that I enjoy. I've been stripping and refinishing furniture for over 40 years, and it has taken a toll on me, and it has brought about some great memories. I've met some beautiful people, and I'm still friends with them today, but it's time for me to look into and to pursue my natural calling in which I feel, and that is inspiring and motivating people to be all they can be. You know, life is short, and we should enjoy it. So I'm going to take, hopefully, the rest of my life to enjoy my life, but still, do not stop calling if you have some furniture that you need refinished. But I just won't be doing it on a scale where I have to obligate myself 7 days a week. For the last 40 years, I've never had a vacation. I've never done anything to please myself. So getting rid of the furniture, it's a bittersweet feeling, but I think in the end it'll be just a sweet feeling because it will allow me to be me and to hopefully offer help to someone out there. All right, I wanted to just say that, but in the meantime, we're going to start off by talking about beautiful beginnings. And me doing what I have done has actually driven me to the point where this conversation is suitable for the moment. And when I think about beautiful beginnings, some of us, we have a tendency to look at things and, you know, we shy away from things because some of us are scared. Some of us are scared to make that change, make that transition, make that jump into something else, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a job, whether it's in anything that you may feel a little reluctant to do, but you actually have a calling. You actually have this calling on something inside of you that's inspiring you to do more than what you are actually doing. And that's the importance of beautiful beginnings, because the feeling of leaving something that you have been dealing with for so long. And like I said, you know, even in a relationship, you know, if you feel that changes cannot be made in the best way to make the relationship work or whatever the case may be, it's nothing wrong with stepping away from that. There's nothing wrong from stepping away. You don't have to step away as enemies. You just realize, hey, it's a point in time in your life that you want proper backup, that you want people in your life. You want a partner in your life, someone that's more than just someone to come home to. You want someone to share your feelings with. You want someone just to be there, to listen to you, to rub your back, to do all the necessary things that need to be done, to bring about a beautiful feeling, to bring that about. Because without that, man, things can get kind of questionable. You know, things can get very, very questionable. So beautiful beginnings are there for all of us. Maybe a job that you're in right now. It may be a job that you're thinking, oh God, I hate to wake up and go to this job. It's just stressing me out, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I tell you what, reevaluate things. Look at what you have on your plate. Make some decisions that's going to accommodate you and your lifestyle. And take some things off of your plate. And like I said, life is short. Life is extremely short. I remember my grandfather used to always tell me, Ryal, you know, hopefully one day you will live to sit in this rocking chair that I'm sitting in now. And back then I was thinking, man, that's a million years away. But you know, that time is near. That time is near. You know, we may look around and say certain things and do certain things, and we don't even give it a second thought. But when it comes to our life, we need to really be serious about that. Not to the point where you're paranoid of every move you make, because you want to have some fun. You want to have some fun, you know, throughout this journey called life. But you don't want to, well, you shouldn't make mistakes without thinking them through. You shouldn't make decisions, I should say, without thinking them through. Because a lot of time, a person, as well as myself, can have a thought. You can have a thought about a million different things. But if you don't think that thought through, if you don't, listen to me, please, if you don't think that thought through, complications can come. Complications can come up to the point where you never even expect them to be there, because the thought is one thing and thinking it through is another thing, because your thoughts are kind of geared to pacify you, to make you feel good about things, you know, but that's just that thought. But if you're actually thinking it through, you start to look at the negative and look at the negatives and the positives. And that's what you want to do. My grandmother and grandfather were very, very important people in my life. And I can't remember a time where they didn't give me advice. You know, and when I was younger, sometimes I paid attention, sometimes I didn't. You know, but they speak from love. You know, here with the holidays approaching and everything, and, you know, you may not have your grandparents around, you may not have your mother and father around, but they are around. They are around. They are around in memories. So try not to get emotional to the point where that it starts to have an impact on you celebrating with other family members. You know, maybe take some quiet time out, you know, with some family members that are presently around you, and maybe, you know, say a prayer, you know, talk about some good times that you had with them. Let everybody share some joyous moments, some joyous memories. Man, you'd be surprised what that will bring about. And when you're doing beautiful beginnings, when you're trying to get to that point where you are recognizing some things that you may or may not have done in the past, you can take all those experiences, whether they were good experiences or whether they were bad experiences. You can take all of those experiences and put them all together. Put them together, and when you enter into this new position, into this beautiful beginning that you're in the process of entering to, take all of that and compile it together and know what to do this go around. Know how to perform and act in a new job. Know how to perform and act in a new relationship. Know how to perform based on some of the bad performance you may have done in the past. Let that be a learning experience. Let that be a learning experience. Man, there are holidays coming up and families will be getting together. Some families will not be getting together. Mr. X may not be there this time. Mrs. X may not be there this time. But like I said, they are there in spirit. They are there in memories. Let the family rejoice together, may pull out some old pictures, you know, and look at them. And it's not, and well, maybe I should say, because I guess it's a personal thing, but it's not a time to cry and weep. And if you are crying and weeping over something, let it be cries and tears of joy, of good memories. A new year is approaching, and maybe it's time for a new you. Maybe you want to reinvent yourself. Maybe you want to take this time to look at things, to introspect yourself and just think to yourself, okay, what did I do last year? What did I accomplish last year? Am I in the same boat this year? Do I see any changes that have been made for the good? Or do I need to make some changes myself so next year will be a better year, moving in the direction of doing things for myself? Maybe you want to think about things like that. Maybe your life has become a routine. Maybe you can get up and blindfold yourself and go downstairs or go in the kitchen and cook breakfast and call the kids down, or maybe if you don't even have kids, you can just go through the motion and you find yourself eating the same breakfast, watching the same television shows, going to bed at the same time, going out in the yard doing the same thing. Man, it's time for a beautiful beginning. It's time for beautiful change in your life. You know, you may be out there young, and it's never too late to make a change. I don't care if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, people are living longer now and doing things, you know, that they couldn't do 50 years ago. You know, medications are better. You know, society, I feel, you know, we're all coming together slowly. You know, I'm all about love and unity, but I don't want to get into that right now. I'm all about just unifying people and unifying a city, unifying a community. I'm all about that. I'm all about that. I don't see where we need to be showing each other hate based on someone's color, someone's financial bracket, or anything of such. All that does is really just destroy your inner soul. It destroys you when you're looking at things from a negative point of view. You'll be surprised what negativity is doing to your internal parts. Things are not gelling together properly. When there's a lot of confusion, and let me just get straight to it, when there's a lot of confusion along with hate, man, you're lying down. You're lying down and you may not even realize what your body is doing, the chemicals that are being moved around because this internal feeling of hate. See, we weren't designed to hate. We were designed to love. But some way along the way that we have adopted hate in our hearts. You know, we've adopted that, you know, because hate is not, you're not born with hate. Look at a child, an innocent child that's born. You think that child is being born with just hate in its heart. No, hate is taught. Hate is taught. And sometimes the environment in which you live in, sometimes that makes you look at the world and make you look at individuals in a different way because of what you see. You have to be careful about what you expose yourself to. You have to be extremely careful about what you expose yourself. Sometimes the conscious or the subconscious mind will actually reveal itself to you in sleep, in dreams. You will sleep and you will dream about things that the subconscious has picked up on that you are not even consciously aware of. So you have to be careful about your exposure, about your company. You want to be around good-hearted people, people that have your best interests at heart. That's what you want. That's when you go to bed and your dreams are colorful and your dreams are soft. And you wake up with a smile on your face, and you wake up and you find yourself half asleep and you start to smile while you're sleeping. That meant that day has been good to you, without confusion, without jealousy, without hate. It's a strange thing. I have so many things to talk about, so many, and I'm going to, as the time goes on, I'm going to reveal some things to you all, basically what my heart feels. And hopefully it'll touch your heart, because some of us, we're just walking through life. We're just walking through life, going through a routine, and not even looking at the beautiful colors in the sky. not even looking at the beautiful bird that flies overhead, not even looking at a puppy playing with his mother. You know, we look at these things and some of us may pick up a rock and throw at the dog instead of appreciating what we see. See, that side of us, that side of love has been smothered, has been covered up. Sometimes we need to remove the layers that have been put on us, and in some cases, forced on us. And if we could just peel those layers back and think them through, like, how did I get to this point? Why am I feeling this way about this particular person? Why? This individual hasn't done nothing to me. Why am I feeling a little bit of hate, a little bit of jealousy? Why? So if we remove some of the things that's been put on us from birth, and we get back to the natural order of our being, of our heart, man, don't you know how beautiful the world would be? Don't you know how beautiful you would be? Don't you know people can sense love in you when you display love? You know, that's what it's about. You wonder why an animal can look at you. A dog can look at another human being, and the dog is nice to one human being and growling at the other human being. That's because the dog has natural senses that allow them to detect your senses, your emotions. That animal is more in tune with you than you are with another person. That dog hasn't had layers put on it. That dog hasn't had layers put on it. The dog is just a natural dog, just a natural animal, barking at someone, growling at someone, and then running up to the next person, wanting to go home with this stranger. That dog knows who's good. He knows the heart of an individual. So again, let's take some time out to realize what we need to do in our lives to bring about beautiful beginnings. You will be surprised what that will do for you. You know, you may think or you may feel that when you lie down that you may be at a vulnerable state. Let me tell you something that I have experienced. You're at your strongest when you're sleeping because there are no outside influences that you are looking at, that you are feeling, that you are exposed to. You are the strongest. Your mind relax. Your heart relax. The anxiety, the stress relax. And the subconscious is entertaining you with some dreams of loved ones. It may be people that you recognize in your dream, and it may be people that you do not recognize. And I'm a true believer that we inherit a lot from our ancestors. We inherit a lot, eye color, skin color, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we approach things. We also inherit them. We also inherit their dreams. So some of these people you see in your dreams, you may not physically know or presently know them, but at one time, someone in the past that happens to be a relative of yours, they know who that person is, and that person comes to you through the subconscious. The subconscious is like a library, picking up on things, and you may walk past a person and don't even know an individual, but later on, whether it's a day or a week that goes by, that individual appears in your dream. and you don't remember having any type of interaction with them. You don't even remember even really paying attention to them. But see, it's something about that person that your subconscious has picked up on. Again, it's so much I want to talk to you all about. I want to reveal to you who you really may be and not even recognize it. You may be caught up on trying to keep up with the Joneses. You may be caught up on a lot of gossip or what's happening over here and what's happening over there. But have you ever thought about what's happening inside of your body, inside of your heart, inside of your mind? Have you ever thought about it? See, as we get older, we become more sensitive to things, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing about getting older. You know, there's something special about an elderly person, a grandmother or a grandfather. You can sit down and talk to your mother, and she's a very beautiful, loving person. But she's not like grandma. She's not like grandma. Grandma can look at you and read you through experience of her hurt and pain and joy throughout her life. She knows the feeling of confusion. She can physically, she can feel it. She can visually see it in your face. And once she reach over and touch you and say, "Come here, sugar," give grandma a hug and give grandma a kiss. She knows that hug is reaching to your soul. And after being around grandma for a while, everything seems to be all right. Everything seems to be all right. I'm telling you, tears come to your eyes and you may say to yourself, "Oh God, I wish grandma was still here." Well, she is there. You just remember the things that she talked about. You remember the things that your grandparents revealed to you. You may have been young and say, "Oh, grandma, that ain't right." Or, "Grandpa, you don't know what you're talking about." But now you know. Now you know. So let's look at these beautiful beginnings that we can jump into. Let's look at them. Again, it's the holiday season. So what are we going to do? Are we going to rejoice and starting over on some things that we know we should have done a long time ago? Are we going to finally finish the doghouse that we started 2 years ago? Are we going to finally clean the basement up? Are we going to finally put an addition on to the house that we've been talking about doing for years? Are we going to finally make amends to some people that we need to make amends to? I read something that an individual had written on Facebook, and he had mentioned, he said a prayer, and he also said, "If I have offended anyone in my life, I'd just like to say that I'm sorry." Man, that was a deep statement. That was a very deep statement. And it made me think about some things. This holiday, give the best gift of all to yourself. This holiday season, let it be a holiday inside your spirit. Let it be a holiday inside your soul. Give yourself the greatest gift of all, to recognize who you are, who you want to be, what environment you want to expose yourself to. Don't just sit there and accept anything. This is your life. Act like it. Just don't say yes when you really want to say no. And don't say no when you have the means of saying yes. Let this be a season of starting over if you need to, because I don't care how you look on the outside. No one knows the pain that you feel on the inside. No one knows that but you. And you may run to the store to ease yourself of that pain temporarily by getting maybe some spirits, I should say. But let the spirit of love come into you where you can feel the change and other people can see the change. Let the help come your way. Let the help come your way. People help people who are trying to help themselves. That's what happens. And when people see change, when change is needed, is when change needs to happen. That's a deep one. Change is needed. That's when change needs to happen. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a holiday, but being that this is the holiday season, let the holiday be about bringing something beautiful in your life this year. And let it move on throughout the additional years to come. It's all in what you make it. Only you can change the things in your life. Stop waiting on someone to pat you on your back and say you're doing a good job. You know, people don't want excuses of what you're doing and why you're doing it. People want results, and you should want results for yourself. You need results for yourself. So I take this time to say, reevaluate some things. Beautiful beginnings start with you. Later on, I'm going to give you a P.O. box number, and you people out there in TV land can write me. You know, you have a suggestion, or if you want to come on the show and have a sit-down conversation, please feel free to do so. This is Ryal Thomas. It's been beautiful. I will see you soon.